Her name's Marialina. Clyde built in 1932. Reciprocating engines, overhauled last year. Well, it's not a new boat, but good for another 20 years. I'm told you prefer buying tonnage for your export and import business to chartering. Of course, I know why you're hesitating. We haven't discussed money. Well, let's talk about the price. We're an insurance company, of course, but we have other interests. Investments on a global scale. I can guarantee you the price for the Marialina will be right. Under certain conditions. Well, maybe conditions isn't quite the right word. The National Exchange Bank in Tel Aviv closed on Saturday at 1 o'clock as usual. When it opened this morning, Monday, the vault was found blown up and 500,000 pounds was missing in unmarked pounds sterling, dollars, Swiss and Belgian francs, all hard currencies. Well, undoubtedly, you'll want to know the connection between the bank robbery and the boat. The thief, a Belgian engineer named Marcel Jan, is on the Marialina with the money. He caught the boat at Suez. The next stop's Barcelona. We want that money back. But since the Marialina is a Spanish ship bound for a Spanish port, we can't get it. Because there's no treaty of extradition between Spain and Israel. We would be acting as agents, you realize. And since you want the boat in a hurry, if you buy it at all, that is, we could arrange for you to board her in mid-ocean for the purpose of inspecting her, naturally. We're prepared to offer you 2.5% of all the money you recover.
The dossier on Jan contains hardly anything. He was in the Belgian underground, a professor of metallurgy before that. No picture, just a rather vague description.
Marialina will be off the south coast of Sicily tomorrow morning. You could catch her from Marcella.
What do you propose to do, Mr. Lyme? Hit Mr. Jan over the head and swim ashore?
That's a good idea, Brad.
Mr. Lyme, now that you've had your little joke, you might glance at this item about Mr. Marcel Jan.
Certainly an angle, Brad.
It is indeed. If you survive.
It looks like a police launch. Is it the police, do you think? It must be. Who but the police could come aboard in the middle of the ocean?
I wouldn't know.
They're coming up.
Mr. Harry Lyme, I'm Mr. White, the purser.
Hello. This is my associate, Mr. Bradford Webster.
Mr. Webster?
How do you do?
The captain would like to have a word with you, Mr. Lyme. This way,
Certainly.
please. Through here, please, Mr. Lyme.
Hey, are you? Has the captain arranged a marriage aboard ship?
Actually, yes. A couple we picked up.
Madonna mia. Where is she? My daughter. She ran away with the cheap nightclub entertainer.
I don't understand. Aren't you with Mr. Lyme?
I'm afraid not. I don't know this gentleman.
I'm the Marchese Ugo Bertolli. Where is my daughter? I will find her myself. Where is the cabins?
Just a minute. Excuse me. Hey, you! Hey, you can't go down there. Hey, you!
Mr. Lyme. Yes, Brad. I would like to retire. I'm slightly indisposed. Well, the ship's hardly moving.
Mr. Lyme? I am the captain. How do you do, sir?
How do you do?
My owners have told me to extend to you every courtesy.
Well, so far, we're very happy. My associate, Mr. Webster.
How do you do? Ah, your luggage. Is everything aboard?
Yes, everything.
One moment, please. I will take you to the purser.
Pronto! Adelante!
I was ordered to stop my ship at sea. This is very unusual.
Your owners were very cooperative.
What is this? What is this? Stop this ship immediately.
Who are you?
I'm the Marchese Ugo Bertolli. Are you the captain of this ship?
I am. Who brought you aboard?
He arrived in the launch with me.
That young woman is not my daughter. I want to get off this ship.
We have cabins available. The purser will attend to you. I must return to the bridge, Mr. Lime. I'm sorry.
This is ridiculous.
Your stateroom is ready for you, Mr. Lime, number 6. Will you come to the office, please?
I shall complain about this treatment.
Brad, maybe you should have a drink.
A whiskey sour with just a twist of orange peel, please.
Excuse me. Hello.
Hello.
You did say whiskey sour with a twist of orange.
It's a nice drink.
I know.
You make that two, please.
Don't you remember me?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, it was only one drink, like that one. On the Queen Liz about 4 years ago. You spent most of your time with Lydia Furlani. She was on her way to Hollywood.
Yeah, I remember the trip. Well, how have you been?
You don't remember me at all, do you?
Are you alone?
Sometimes.
Who's he?
Haven't you heard? It's the bank robber. Everyone knows it, and no one can do anything about it. The bank he robbed was in Israel. This is a Spanish ship. There's no extradition between Spain and Israel. Got £500,000.
And you?
I'm trying.
Well, we mustn't keep £500,000 waiting, must we?
Feeling better? Yes. You were talking about Eva Marouk.
Yes, she used to work for an organization in Marseille. Maybe she still does.
Organization?
Well, the kind of outfit that might finance a project like the Tel Aviv bank robbery. They're involved in blackmail, stock market tips, gambling revenue, all kind of percentage deals.
We have to proceed with our plan immediately, Mr. Lime. The fact that Jan is a snip-snapperologist.
Of what?
Snip-snapperologist. A man who can't resist cards. Dipsomaniac about gambling. That should make it easy for you to get him into the card game. And once he...
What is it? Eight of diamonds.
What does it mean?
Stay here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Harry? 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 What's wrong?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. I was hit.
You sit down and relax.
I think you're right.
I saw the purser in the corridor as I came here,
What was he doing there?
watching your door. He's always hanging around. Now, let's see what's the matter with you. Oh, you've got a lump. But you'll be all right.
How did you happen to be here just now?
I came to talk business with you.
Business?
I'd like to work with you.
Fine. You're hired as a nurse.
I've been thinking. If I wanted to get onto a ship in the middle of the Mediterranean, how would I do it?
I don't know. How would you do it?
I think I'd pretend I was going to buy the ship, like you did.
You could parachute from a plane that'd pick you up.
And get that nice suit ruined.
That's true.
Anyway, you're on. Why? 500,000 pounds?
You ask all the questions and then you answer them. You know, I'm falling in love with my nurse. I always do.
I'm serious. I could be useful to you.
You're working for the Marseille organization, aren't you?
Not anymore. I work alone. You're here to get that 500,000 pounds. I'd like to get a part of it. I figure that I could do better working with you than if I try alone, even if my cut is smaller. Listen, there are only 3 more days left before this boat gets to Barcelona. That's not very long. Do I get the job?
Well, as a nurse, you're so wonderful, I'm better already. You're out of a job.
And the other job?
Well, I'm not sure how useful you could be.
Maybe we could find out.
Mr. Lime.
Oh. Mr. Bradford Webster, Miss Eva Marouk. How do you do?
He's just gone into the saloon.
Good. Is everything arranged?
Everything.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Mr. Lime.
Am I working for you?
What do you bring into the partnership?
Is that a serious question?
If it is, you just answered it.
Whiskey. Oh, do you play bridge?
No, I do not.
Perhaps these gentlemen.
Yes, we're going to play poker. You care to join us? You know the Marchese Bertoli.
No, no.
Perhaps Madame would like the deal.
Barman. Barman. How about that?
How does one play with these?
They are called poker dice.
Oh. I don't know how to play poker.
They are used to roll for drinks. Small gamblings. Not like cards.
I've always admired people who play cards well.
I will demonstrate. You get 3 rolls.
Lucky, Monsieur Jean. Hello, Monsieur Yan. You changed your mind?
Yes.
The values of the chips, monsieur. Red, 5 pounds, blue, 10 pounds, white, 100.
A small game.
We could raise the value.
It would become more interesting.
Let's double it.
It is very much against my principles, but I'll agree. Madame?
I am like Monsieur Young. I prefer playing when the stakes are high.
Your deal.
Pardon, please. Mr. Lime, do you know this gentleman?
The Marchese? You know the circumstances in which we came aboard.
He is not pleasant company. One of our passengers, Mr. Johansson, who recently crossed the North Atlantic, informed us of his identity. The Marchese Bertolli is one of the cleverest card shops in the business. I should advise all of you not to play with him. And if I hear of you playing cards again, I will confine you to your cabin.
Well, it appears we do not play cards. Madame?
I am sorry, Mr. Lime. This man used your kindness to get aboard the ship. Bank robbers, card shops, what a voyage.
Captain, you said that one of your passengers recognized Bertolli.
Yes, that is right. Mr. Johansson.
Really? Excuse me.
Mr. Lime, my name is Johansson. In case you are looking for the Marchese, his cabin number is 8.
Thank you very much.
Oh, howdy.
It's all right, Hugo. It's not your fault.
I'm desolate. But I'm not stupid. I would never have put you in such an embarrassing spot. That man Johansson, I've never seen him before. And I've never worked the North Atlantic, never. I told you so. Only Mediterranean. Italian ships, French ships, no Spanish.
You're keeping strange company, Mr. Lime?
That's my business, isn't it, Mr. White?
The captain wishes you to be told formally that you're confined to your cabin until arrival in Barcelona.
Very well.
You know, Mr. Lime, if I boarded a ship in the middle of the Mediterranean on the very thin pretext of wanting to buy her, I'd watch my step.
Well, that's exactly what I am doing, Mr. White.
What do you want, Mr. Lime?
I thought you might be interested in a game of cards. Now, just the two of us.
No, no cards. Not with you. Not with anybody.
You scared?
You're a smart man, Mr. Lime. You learned about my weakness and you thought that you could get me to gamble away the money, didn't you? £500,000. What are you going to try next?
What do you suggest?
You do not believe in violence. You do not carry a gun.
I told you that.
Everybody knows that about Harry Lime. If it amuses you.
You interest me, Monsieur Yarn. Maybe because you're so different from me. I changed from a rather obscure past into respectability. You went the other way. From a professor of metallurgy to a bank robber. Your cards.
What are we playing?
21. I know very little about metallurgy. Just a few basic facts like this. Pewter, an alloy consisting of two metals, lead and zinc. I guess that's something everybody knows.
Mr. Lime, your friend has been looking for you just now. You seemed very upset.
Thank you very much. Will you excuse me, Monsieur Jan?
Oh, that's quite all right.
What is it, Brad? Brad, are you sick?
Oh, Mr. Lime, I'm afraid I'm not a very good sailor. When I left the cabin, it was as if something hit me. Something did hit me. Mr. Lime, my briefcase with the dossier on Jan.
Harry, come with me fast.
Where?
I found out where Jan has hidden the money.
Just a minute. What's the deal?
The deal?
Yes, you're not doing this for love. How much do you want?
We'll talk about that later. I'm working with you, remember?
Yes, I remember.
Over here. This is the one. There's not much time. Let's get it now. It's Jan.
Shot and killed.
Who could have done it?
Jan. You knew all the time, didn't you? You knew that the so-called Jan was paid to impersonate the real Jan while he was aboard the ship.
Harry, that's absurd. How could you imagine that?
Never mind, Eva. Mr. Lime is very smart. Maybe too smart. I'm sorry I didn't hit you a little harder. Eva and I were enjoying our game very much.
I do hope I haven't hurt you, Mr. Jan. Miss Baruch, won't you wait for us? I had no idea that Johansson was the real Jan. How did you find out?
I got suspicious because everything seemed too easy. Men reacted too quickly. And then this. I dealt the wrong hand for Van der Jern. Any card player would have known. And this. I gave the wrong combination of metals for pewter. Zinc instead of tin. The real Jan was a professor of metallurgy. He'd have laughed in my face.
I'm glad the company hired you, Mr. Lime. I was rather doubtful when we got the radiogram. I had a hard enough time persuading the captain to take me on as purser. But when it came to stopping his ship in mid-sea, he violated every rule in the book to help us.
Mr. Lime, I just wanted to tell you that I was feeling perfectly all right again.
Brad, I'd like you to meet Mr. White of the Israeli Secret Service.
I thought you were the purser.
No, he isn't, Brad. It's a long story, but I don't think you're strong enough to listen to it.